What's going on, guys? Gonna do a quick in the bag here for the 2022 season. Getting excited for disc golf, but it's still a little too cold outside to be out playing right now, so I figured this was a good way to at least be doing something disc golf related. Starting out, we've got a pound Octo Haul custom made bag. I had been using hand-me-downs until this last season and picked this up this last fall and absolutely love this bag. It's got tons of storage room, tons of room for discs. Could fit anything and everything I would need in there for a disc golf round. We'll go through quickly some of the stuff I keep in the bag consistently. I keep a Bushnell Edge rangefinder in the bag. Keep it up top, quick, easy access. I use that a lot. Just a lot of towels and random stuff down here. I have some towels there, markers in here for when I need to mark a disc or the off chance someone picks up an ace. In this side, it's another large compartment. I have a retriever, and then the only thing else in here right now I have is the rain fly for the bag that I have stuff down in here. Plenty of room to add stuff though as I need for the season. I normally keep an extra bottle of water in there or some sort of snack in case I need it out on the course. The other thing too is this bag actually down behind the putter pouch has a spot for the camel pack, and I have a camel pack that holds, I think it's like a liter of water, and that's been really great to have that easy access into water while you're out in the course. Going right into it, try to keep this quick because I've already tried this once and filmed a half-an-hour video. I have the Money Man Tim Becker Mini and flag stamp. It's what it was a gift from Tim Becker. That's what I'll be using the majority of this season as my mini. Going straight into putters, I have 5 putters up in this top spot. I have 2 putting putters. These are identical. These are going to be EMAC Judges in classic blend plastic. Just switched to these last year. I putted with Roaches and Lunas up until this last year. Switched to these and had a lot of success. Really enjoy putting with those. Next up, I have a Moonshine EMAC Judge. Sorry, I almost said Truth. It is a Moonshine EMAC Judge, the tournament stamp, as a throwing putter. And then my other throwing putters are going to be a Misprint 21 Tour Series Paul Macbeth Luna. Misprint. Really awesome disc. Used this a lot this last season. I've pretty much always had some 2020 or 21 Tour Series Luna in the bag the last year and a half or two. Next up is kind of a softer it's the ESP Luna, which means it is the Peter Moodye. It does have some ink on it now, but used this a lot last year. Looking forward to continue using it this year. Great throwing putter. I use it a lot for approaches when I want a really straight approach with a softer landing than like a zone. So approach disc, great disc. Next, I have a side pouch here that has some discs I can't get all into the main pouch because I probably carry too many discs. But we'll go with my zones. I have a really beat in hard plastic putter blend zone. I don't know how well you're able to see, but it's really worked, really beat in, so it flies really straight now. So it's been handy to have a really straight flying disc that's not a Luna, that kind of has a little bit more consistent hookup at the end. Next up, we have the Crystal Flex zone. This is a Get Freaky stock zone. I've always had I have a bunch of these, so I kind of switch them in and out. Just threw this one in the bag for this year. Black with a zebra print. So I've thrown this some, but looking forward to having that in the bag for this year. Next up is a couple more dynamic discs. These are going to be the Justice. So these are kind of more of a utility disc. I'll flip that right way up. Very overstable approach disc. I really use the zones for approaching, and these are more for when I really need to throw something like on Anheuser but have it come back out at the end. as a scramble shot, or I need something that I can throw hard into a really heavy headwind on a shorter shot and trust that I can still get a hyzer out of it. So I have, this is a Lucid, so very, very hard, stiff plastic. And then I have a Soft Justice, which is probably the most underrated disc in disc golf, in my opinion. This thing is incredible when you need something to be up on like a spike hyzer and you need it to sit down and you need it to not move. This thing does exactly that. It'll just hit the ground and just stop. Great disc. Next, that's kind of my putters and approach discs. Next, we're gonna have my mid-ranges. And so my overstable mid-ranges that I go with are dynamic discs Verdict. And this one is a Chris Clemens 21 Tour Series Verdict in Lucid X. And then this one's a tournament stamp Lucid Verdict. Both of them have a little bit different flight characteristics. This one's probably a little bit more overstable, but great go-to overstable mid. Next up, looks like we have my understable mids, which are both the same disc. I just bagged 2 of them, which is true for a lot of the discs that I have in my bag. I bag kind of duplicates of things. But both of these are going to be the Crystal Dark Horse Meteors. And love this plastic, love the flight out of the Meteor. And this is by far the best plastic I've had so far in the Meteor. Great disc. Next is going to be kind of my stable, straight flying mids. First up is going to be a Discmania MD3. This is pre-Innova split, so this is technically the Innova molded MD3. I do have some of the Discmania new original MD3s. I haven't really tried them out a whole lot, so really used this a lot last year and I'll keep that in the bag. Next is going to be a Baby Yoda or a Grogu Z-Line Buzz. So a Discraft Buzz. This thing is probably what gets used the most out of my straight flying mids. Really, really dependable. Love this disc. Alright, we're going to jump straight into fairway drivers. We'll start with my stable straight flying fairway, which is going to be an Undertaker, a Discraft Undertaker. This one is a tournament stamp from Paul McBeth Mulligan Madness in Z plastic. So it's a little bit more overstable. Still has a little bit of a flip up, but then kind of really dependable fade at the end. And then I also bag a Z Flex Undertaker, which is a very gummy plastic. I'll use this a lot more in the woods, and it is a little bit more understable, so it flips up just a little bit more and doesn't have quite as hard of a finish at the end. Next up, the overstable fairway in my bag is going to be the 2021 Tour Series Paul Ulibarri Raptor. I bagged 2 of them. This is one of my favorite discs. Get used probably the most on a lot of shots. Use it for approaches that are further than 250 out if it's wide open. I have these dialed in on backhand and forehand, and it's my go-to thumber disc. This one got used a lot this last year. Just added this one in as kind of having a duplicate. I like to have duplicates of a lot of the discs. But this one at one point was signed by the man himself, Paul Ulibarri, but just couldn't take it out of the bag. So that's my overstable. And then next will be the understable fairway, which is going to be the Discraft Avenger SS. And in this case, this is the Brody 3-pack Avenger SS. And this one's really, really beat in. And it's my roller disc. It's an incredibly understable fairway that I've spent a lot of time working on hyzer flips with it and getting it to be big turnover shots. This is, for a while, was the disc that could actually throw the furthest as well. Now it's a little bit too understable for where I'm at for like max distance shots, but still a very, very usable disc. The other Avenger SS that I bag is going to be the Crystal Avenger SS. Saw Hunter throwing this a lot, and he seemed to be crushing with it. I got it, and it did not disappoint. This disc is a must-bag disc, honestly. This thing is incredible. It's got that same understability where you can do hyzer flips and have it flip up and hold, but then it has a more reliable fade at the end. Highly recommend a Crystal Avenger SS. Next is still going to be a fairway, in my opinion, but something a little bit further flying that I can't take this out of the bag because I use it all the time, and that's going to be the Onyx. I bagged 2 of them. Both of these are going to be ESP, so just having a duplicate. This one's got a wiped stamp, so it's really like the colors of it, and just thought that one looked cool with the wipe stamp. And this one is the American flag stamp, which is my favorite stamp. But these I just have really dialed in at like a 350-foot hyzer shot, and they have so much glide. You can trust them in the wind. They're not going to flip over in the wind. So the Onyx has been a really reliable disc that I don't foresee coming out of the bag anytime soon. The rest of all these are going to be distance drivers. First, we'll go with the understable, and that's going to be the Hades. Now, I bag 3 different Hades, as this is kind of my default bag. So some of the stuff gets traded out depending on course I'm playing or what tournament I'm playing, where I'm playing. But default bag, I have 3 Hades. I have a Z Hades, and then I have a stock Hades that you probably won't be able to tell. It's got a sticker on the back, so it looks ugly, but it's very Z blendy, so a little bit more overstable of a stock one, where a lot of these have very different stabilities. And then I have a proto Hades that's probably the most understable distance driver I currently have in the bag. So good to have different stabilities of Hades, and it's one of my favorite distance drivers. It's probably the one that I get the most distance out of on like a calm day where I can really throw a hyzer flip and have it do a big turn and fade back out. That's probably the one I get the most distance out of currently. Next up is going to be my go-to distance driver for just normal wide open distance shots. That's going to be the Nuke. This is an ESP Nuke, page pierce 5 times, and then I have an OTB ESP Nuke as well. This one has some sweet swirl to it. So these are my 2 ESP Nukes distance drivers that I use. And then I have 2 more Nukes, but these are going to be in Z plastic. Alright, I got cut off there by an alarm, but going into it, these are Z Nukes. Both have tournament stamps. Again, this is the Paul Macbeth Foundation Mulligan Madness tournament stamp. And then I have a Z, it was a tournament from Kentucky, I believe it was the Not So Hollow Trees at Rocky Hollow Park in Kentucky tournament stamp. I really liked this tournament stamp though, thought it looked really cool. So 2 Z Nukes, and then with the 2 ESP Nukes. And then the last disc in my bag is going to be a Z Nuke OS, which is just my super overstable disc for when it's really strong headwinds, or when I need a big flare skip on something, or I just need a really overstable driver. So that's my bag. There's a lot of discs that might go in and out of my bag, different mid-ranges or different drivers depending on the weather, where I'm playing, or if I try something new. Like I'm waiting on a delivery of some big Z Nukes that I haven't got to try yet. So who knows, maybe those things will be insanely cool and I'll throw those in the bag. But for now, that's my 2022 in the bag. Thank you.